Hi, I'm John Rivers from Four Rivers Smokehouse, and today we're going to make oven-cooked Texas-style beef ribs. All right, today we're talking about two of my very favorite things. Big beef, heavy-duty ribs, which I absolutely love, and a combination of that and coffee, and we're going to bake these ribs in the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a nice big whole rack of ribs. Now, I don't cut them. I keep them together like this, and that helps maintain the moisture inside when you're smoking it. I make a real simple rub here, which is, you think about it, what you're going to put on steaks and just beef itself. Salt, pepper, I put a little bit of coffee grinds in there, which gives it a great flavor, some brown sugar, and just a touch of granulated garlic. Now, what I'm going to do, before I throw these in the oven, I'm going to be very liberal with the ribs, and go ahead and pat it on there really nice and thick, and you want to cover all the outside of the rib itself. Wherever you see meat, you want to just go ahead and cover it. You know, someone told me one time, actually I worked in a pizza joint, and they said, you know, take a look at the, you know, the Visine commercial that's out there. Anywhere that you see red, which was a sauce, go ahead and put a cheese, mozzarella cheese over the top of it, and I never forget that. And it's kind of like the same here. You know, it's like the Visine commercial. Wherever you see the red of the meat, go ahead and just put your rub on the top, cover it up so you don't see it. And all of this is just driving a whole lot of wonderful flavor that's going to come out when you actually smoke these guys in the oven itself. So I've covered all of it. You notice that I'm not putting any on the bottom of it. You don't get a whole lot of flavor that's being driven from there, so I'm pretty liberal. I got it on nice and thick. Now you can do a couple things here. I like to take beef in particular, and I'll wrap this in cellophane really tight and throw it in the refrigerator overnight. That does a couple of things. All the salt that's in this rub is going to start pulling out a lot of the liquids that are actually inside of the meat itself, and it'll just produce a more deep, rich flavor of beef once you finally cook it. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to throw it in the oven. Now, first thing I do, if I want a little bit of smoke flavor, I'm not a huge fan of liquid smoke, but I'll just put a little bit around it so that as it smokes, it's going to evaporate ultimately into the meat itself and impart just a little bit of smoky flavor, because you really got to make up for it since you're cooking it in the oven and not in the smoker itself. So it's ready to go. And what I'm going to do is two parts to baking it. I'm going to bake it open just like this at about 250 degrees for 2 hours. And what that's going to do is going to caramelize and crust on the outside, so you get a nice black, heavy flavor crunch when you bite into it. And then after 2 hours, I'm going to wrap it up really tight, just like this, keep it in the oven, and I'm going to finish it wrapped up good and tight for another 2 hours, so about 4 hours total. And what I do, the reason that I wrap it like this, what it does is it keeps all the moisture in there, and that little bit of liquid smoke that you put in there, it's going to start evaporating all around the meat itself while it's keeping it nice and moist, and you get just an absolutely beautiful product. Wait till you see what this looks like when it comes out. So you see, this is your finished product, absolutely beautiful, huge piece of beef. You know, you see how the ribs, they pull outside of it. It's just nice and moist, super easy to do at home. All you need is an oven, you know, a nice rub that we put on it, and just look how big and thick that is. I'll tell you, your friends are really going to enjoy that. You know, cut your meat off of it, slice it, put a little bit of sauce on it, and man, that is absolutely beautiful. So good luck to you at home. I know you really enjoy doing this. Super easy. You'll be great and successful at it. And again, I'm John Rivers from Four Rivers Smokehouse, and thanks for joining us today.